Welcome to another edition of Finish First. I'm Judge Dawson, right? And this is a very special edition. One, because I'm in a car and I would never promote texting and driving or any of that stuff. But as you can tell, I am not going to look at the camera unless it is while I'm at a stop so that I can be safe. But the reason I'm doing this video from this car is because this message is so important that I couldn't wait. And it's so important to your survival and how you interact with this legal system that I had to get it out. I had to talk to you about it. So, as you know, I do this program as a part of my court system. And I do it in general to build leadership. So there's two parts to this. One, building leadership, and the second one is making sure that we conduct ourselves in a way that we don't have negative interaction with the legal system. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. You can be a doctor making $1 million or some superstar, as we know. The legal system is always there. And as soon as you step across the line of what people call legal and illegal, now you're in this legal system. So here's the purpose of this message. I had a trial recently in court. The trial was an issue of disorderly conduct. Now, I'm going to define disorderly conduct for you. But most importantly, I'm going to define it in a way that breaks it down to its basic elements that we can understand and apply to our lives every day. Disorderly conduct is anything that you do to disturb the peace of the community. Who determines whether or not you're disturbing the peace of the community? I don't know. The person who called the police officer that was on the scene that saw your behavior. The reason I say I don't know is because that's just how vague or just how easy it is for you to get a disorderly conduct charge. So the first thing I need you to understand about disorderly conduct is that it's easy to be charged with disorderly conduct because anytime you do anything that is considered to be a disturbance, you can be charged. And most times this happens when the police are actually called. So a lot of times the police actually visualize, they actually see this conduct that they consider to be disorderly. And disorderly conduct, it's important that you know the penalties. You face a potential $1,000 fine and up to 6 months in jail. A $1,000 fine and 6 months in jail for disorderly conduct and for any first-degree misdemeanor. So let's go back to this case I had in court. There was a person charged with disorderly conduct. This was an interesting situation because police were on the scene of an investigation. The person charged showed up to the scene of the investigation in a very aggressive manner. How do I know the person was aggressive? Well, there was video evidence of the person being aggressive. So now I have more than just the officer's word or just the quote unquote witnesses, if they even exist. I have video evidence of this aggressive behavior. So I want to take a sidebar here. One of the things I wish that the community would understand, and I understand this just based on the principles of emotional intelligence, has nothing to do with the fact that I've been practicing law for 20 years and I've been a judge for 9 years. What I'm going to tell you is based on emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has an element of common sense. So if you come to the scene of an investigation where police are investigating a proposed or an alleged crime, is that scene going to be calm or will it be excited? And it all depends, right? What does it depend on? Well, it depends on what was the nature of the call, meaning why are the police even there? Are they there for a shooting, a shootout, sexual assault, kidnapping? It could be any reason that the police are there. And then here you come rolling up on the scene. You may or may not know why the police are there. You may or may not even agree with them being there. But nevertheless, they're there trying to do their job. So if you interrupt the police officers from doing their job, what can you be charged with? Yes, you can be charged with obstruction of official business. Obstruction of official business is also a first-degree misdemeanor, which means you could get up to a $1,000 fine and 6 months in jail for that violation. So here we are, this whole conversation, this whole finished first session, we're focusing on the scene of an investigation, scene of a crime, or just simply a police stop. And then how do we interact with police at that stop? So let me go back to my case. The young lady arrives on the scene. She gets out her car, walks toward the police officers, and she's not upset with the police. She's upset with someone else. So she's ready to fight. Right there, being ready to fight in the public is disorderly conduct, right? We can agree with that. But on top of that, when police officers are telling you to calm down or to leave the scene or to back up and you don't do it, again, not only are you obstructing their official business, but you are involved in a disorderly conduct situation. So in this particular situation, the case went all the way to trial. The officer testified, there was video evidence, and then the other person testified. And this is another important reason why I am doing this video. The defendant could not understand why she was being charged, she or he, was being charged with disorderly conduct. But then again, they knew. And let me tell you why I know they knew. Because as we looked at the video, the person said, well, right there, I might have been being disorderly because I was upset. But later on, when the officer arrested me, I wasn't doing anything. Time out. I think that person and I had a big disconnect because they kept focusing on the fact that when the officer arrested them, they weren't doing anything. But remember this, officers always arrest you after the fact. After they tell you to go home and you don't. After they see you assault somebody. So it's always after the fact. So that's the first thing that you always have to understand. When you commit a crime, the officers have a couple of options. They can give you a citation, they can let you go, or they can arrest you. In this situation that went to trial, the person wasn't even arrested. They were allowed to go home with a citation. Okay, so that leads me to another part of this trial and another reason why this is a topic for you and I. Not only do I want you to understand what disorderly conduct is and how to avoid it. How do you avoid it? When the police come on the scene, chill out, flat out, chill out. I don't care how mad you are, how pissed off you are, relax so that you don't end up charged. And what if you're the person that called the police in the first place and then you end up arrested because you couldn't control yourself? So don't end up being charged. So my first point of this message is for you to relax. The second one is a general success principle. because we're all cycle breakers breaking cycles, right? So a premise of leadership and success is this: use all that you know so that you can achieve the goals that you have. Use all that you know so that you can achieve the goals that you have. So what do I mean by that? You and I both know what disorderly conduct looks like. Now, maybe you didn't know the exact legal definition, and maybe you didn't know how police officers apply it, but we both know what disorderly conduct looks like, right? Let me give you another example. I'm trying not to look at this video screen right now because I'm recording while in my car. And we both know, I know, that driving while looking at a camera is not the right thing to do. Now, you may not know the legal name for it or the ticket you would get or the violation, but I do. It's called failing to maintain full time and attention. So, going back to this success principle, if I know that it's improper to drive and look at a video, then one, I either need to drive like I'm doing now and don't look at the video, or two, I don't need to do anything anywhere close to it so I don't get charged with an offense. Let me bring that back to the trial I had. That person knew at a certain point that they were being disorderly. But what did they do? They got out the car, walked up to the scene ready to fight. Now you tell me, how is it that you think you're able to walk up to a scene where police are and start a fight with anybody? How can you do that? And how do you think that that is permissible or even legal? So I don't want you coming to court, my court, anybody's court, acting as if that is the right thing to do when you and I both know you're not supposed to do it. So when we talk about a success principle, I'm talking about we have to be diligent and aggressive in applying all that we know so that we don't wind up in this legal system. Remember, we want to be cycle breakers breaking cycles. So you don't want to be in the legal system, so you have to apply all that you know. And then what's the other tool that goes hand in hand with that? Is that you have to be consistent in the application of what you know. You have to be consistent in the application of what you know and applying it. Because if you sleep on it and one day say, you know what, I know it's okay. I know I shouldn't be disorderly, but I feel like being disorderly today and that's just what I'm going to do. Then you're going to wind up in the legal system. You're going to end up with some type of charges that will affect your life negatively. And remember, the whole goal for me is to make sure you don't end up in that situation. So you have to be consistent in applying all that you know. And let me give you one final tool for success in regard to what we've been talking about. It's called the AAA plan, right? Analyze what needs to be done. I mean, really take a moment and think. Analyze means nothing more than just think about it. Think about that case. Why would you believe that you can walk up to a scene where police are investigating a serious matter and curse people out and try to fight people? You know that's incorrect. Some of the things you and I do in the community, we know it's incorrect. I signed a warrant today for somebody who was sitting in the middle of the street in their car. A para-transportation van pulled up, couldn't get past them, got out the car, knocked on the window, say, hey, can you move so I can get past? I have a client. The person that was asked to move got out the car, ran in the house, came back out, shot with their gun at the paratransportation van. For what? That's crazy. And that person had to know that was incorrect. I don't know if they were being silly because it's not funny. But one thing they were doing was just basically trying to get arrested, and that's what's going to happen. So when I talk about analyze, I mean just think. Flat out, think. You know right from wrong in most of these situations, so think. So the AAA program, the first one is analyze. The next one is take action. Action that will lead you to your goal and your destiny. You don't want to take actions that's going to lead you to jail or lead you deeper into this legal matrix that we talk about all the time. You have to take action that is going to propel you to the level of success that you want to reach. So action is so very important. And then the third A of the AAA program is make adjustments, right? Like once you're there, make adjustments. We don't know everything. So you may think you did something right. So, okay, let's go back to that case. Remember, I started with a case that was in my court. The person rose up on the scene. Let's use the AAA analysis. Think about it. Okay, I'm upset. I'm going to get out the car and I want to fight everybody. All right. That's not the right thing to do, but they did it. The next thing is, okay, I'm in the middle of this. The next part of the AAA is I need to now take action so that I don't end up caught up in this legal system. The police are telling me to calm down and back up. What action should I take? Maybe I should calm down and back up so I don't end up in jail, right? And then the third A of the AAA program is make any adjustments that you need. Okay, I made some mistakes. I jumped out the car. I was on fire. I walked up to a police officer. I tried to fight other people. But let me tell you the adjustment I'm going to make right now. I'm about to calm down. I'm going to apologize to the police. And I'm going to try to survive this situation without being arrested. That's my point for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's my session for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a long one. You know, sometimes we can go long, but sometimes we don't need to go long. We just need to get the point across. I want you to win. I want you to live your best life. I mean, it pains me to my soul when I'm in court and I hear nonsense that's going to cause our people, all people, to keep butting their head up against the legal system. It doesn't have to be that way. I want you all to be cycle breakers. But there are a few things you have to do if you remember this video. First of all, you have to know exactly where you want to go and use all of the information that you know. Your mama told you not to argue with the police. You know better than that. 1, use all the information that you know. 2, be consistent with using the information that you know, meaning every single day when you get out the bed, your goal should be, I'm not about to get arrested today because you know what? I know how to avoid it. And if you don't remember those 2 things, remember the AAA plan, and we'll keep talking about it over and over again. Analyze the situation, AKA, in other words, think. Second one, take action that will move you toward your goal. Massive action. And then the third one of the AAA program is make the adjustments where you need to make the adjustments so that you don't end up swallowed by this legal system. All right, it's Judge Dawson. I am now done moving. I'm done driving. I'm done with this session. Like I said, I don't keep you long. I just try to give you information that you can use. You know what? Life is too short, and they can say a lot of things about Judge Dawson, but one thing you cannot say is that I don't love people. And you can't say that I don't want you to win. So I'm going to keep doing these sessions as long as it takes so that you and I can live our best life. And we need to hear it over and over and over again because life happens fast and we forget. We get emotional. We react. But if you can remember anything, you know what Judge Dawson told me about some AAA program. I can't remember it right now. But one thing I do know, I better chill out with what I'm about to do because I don't want to go to jail. As simple as that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. It's Judge Dawson. This was another cycle breaker moment, a cycle breaker session. Make sure you answer those questions. Send the responses to my email. Let's continue to grow together so that we can all be the best that we can be. Let's go.